I saw the way my husband looked at her to get it. What happened next changed everything. Introduction. Sometimes, a single moment changes everything. Not because of what actually happened, but because of what you think happened. This is the story of the day I saw my husband look at another woman in a way I could never forget. What followed tested my heart, my marriage, and my trust. Welcome to Jassica Jones Thoughts. The glance. It was just a normal gathering. Friends, laughter, music, the kind of night where nothing should go wrong. But then, I saw it. Across the room, my husband's eyes found hers. He looked at her in a way that made my breath catch. It wasn't casual, it wasn't polite, it was something else. I froze. My heart pounded. In that second, everything felt different. The silence that followed, I didn't say anything, not then. I smiled, I laughed, I pretended everything was fine. But inside, I was screaming. On the drive home, he asked why I was so quiet. I lied. I'm just tired, I whispered. But in my mind, I kept replaying that look. And with every replay, it grew darker. The confrontation. Days later, I couldn't take it anymore. I turned to him and asked, "Who was that woman? I saw the way you looked at her." The room went still. His expression shifted. Shock, hesitation, something I couldn't read. My stomach dropped. Then he said quietly, "She's someone from my past, a childhood friend." I didn't expect to ever see her again. Relief flickered inside me, but only for a moment. Because the way his voice cracked told me there was more to this story. The truth, or part of it. He explained that seeing her brought back memories. That the look I saw wasn't love, it was recognition. Nostalgia, a flood of the past crashing into the present. I wanted to believe him. I really did, but something inside me whispered, "Is that really all?" And then, the twist came. The twist. A week later, I met her properly. She smiled warmly, reached out her hand, and said, "You must be Jessica. I've heard so much about you." Her words seemed harmless, until she laughed softly, looked at my husband, and added, "It's so strange seeing you after all these years, you were my first love." My heart stopped. My world tilted. The choice. In that instant, everything I feared came rushing back. Her smile, his silence, the look I had seen in his eyes that night, it all connected. He quickly shook his head. "It wasn't like that for me," he said firmly. "She was important back then, but she's not my future. You are." But could I believe him? Or had the past just walked into my present, threatening to destroy everything? What changed everything? That night, we had the hardest conversation of our marriage. I told him my fears. He told me his truth. That the past was just the past, and that the look I saw was never love, it was shock. And in that moment, I realized something. Love is not about avoiding doubt. It's about facing it, together. The twist wasn't her confession. The real twist was this. I had the choice to let it break us, or to let it make us stronger. I chose trust, and that choice changed everything. The lesson. Here's what I learned. Sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones we write in our own heads. Sometimes, the ghosts of the past come back, not to steal love, but to test it. And in those moments, you learn whether your love is fragile, or unshakable. Closing. Thank you for listening to my story on Jassica Jones Thoughts. If you've ever faced doubt in your relationship, remember, the power is not in what you see, it's in what you choose to believe. Because sometimes, one single look doesn't end everything. Sometimes, it begins a whole new chapter.